Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're talking March favorites today. It is now April. I love the month of April. I mean, usually, okay, it's the start of spring, which has always been one of my favorite seasons. Like I don't want to say I like it more than fall, but like it's right up there. I just love the pastels and the flowers and the fresh air and the cool air. And like it's starting to get a little bit warmer, so it's not like super duper cold, and like the new beginnings. I don't know, it typically starts with Easter, which is a fun holiday. So I'm just really excited for April. Also, I remember last year I just was so happy in the month of April. That was my first month as a stay-at-home mom, and I just loved it. So I'm really excited for April this year, but for now we're going to talk about March. I have a few products here in front of me that I loved during the month of March. Also, the Sephora sale is usually in April, which is a nice segue into this. A lot of these products, actually all of them except for one, are sold at Sephora. So I'm gonna link them all down below for you so you can shop during the sale. The sale starts on the 9th of April. You can get up to 20% off, depending on if you're a Rouge or a Beauty Insider or all of that stuff. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the only thing that is not available at Sephora. It's available at Ulta, and it is the Ofra and Samantha March collaboration. She just collaborated with Ofra again. She came out with a palette and some glosses. I wasn't able to grab the palette. It definitely, I mean, it sold out like super fast, so good for her. Like, that's so exciting. But I was sent the glosses in PR, so Ofra sent these over to me to review. It comes in a set of 3. Okay, so here's what the set looks like. So it has the color Millie, which she actually released last year. It's like a clear glitter gloss. And then she has the color Queen, which is kind of like a beige. It reminds me a lot of Fenty Glow, like the original Fenty lip gloss. And then Peony, which is the one I'm going to talk to you guys about right now. I got this in the mail. I opened it up. I pulled out Peony, and I haven't even used the others because I've just really been loving Peony. It's just this beautiful like pink color. It also reminds me a lot of Fenty Fussy, I think is what it's called, the pink one in Fenty. And in fact, the Ofra formula is very reminiscent of Fenty. Fenty has like a nice scent to it. Ofra doesn't really have a scent at all. So they're very like reminiscent of each other as far as like feel and texture on the lips. And now with these, the colors. So this might be a good way for you to get like a cheaper version of like all 3. Anyways, she knocked it out of the park. Congrats to Samantha. So I've been wearing this one a lot with this lip liner. So that's the combo I have on my lips today. This is by Lawless, and this is their Forget the Filler Definer Liner in the color Pink Sand. So this is like the My Lips But Better, at least for me. If you have kind of pinky toned lips, cool tone, this is gonna be your perfect My Lips But Better color. It's really creamy and it's really pretty on the lips. I've been liking it a lot. Okay, I talked about these Too Faced Killer Liners in my last favorites video. I love them, you guys. I feel like they're one of the best eyeliners like that I've ever used. They're so creamy. They kind of smudge out, but then once they smudge, like if you use a smudge brush like I do, they stay put all day long. They don't collect in my tear duct. They don't smudge or like flake. They're uber pigmented. Like I really like them. I want to pick up another color or 2 during the Sephora sale. A new color that I tried out this month is Killer Caramel or Caramel. How do you say? Do you say caramel or caramel? I usually say caramel. So this is what I was wearing on my waterline for a lot of the videos I recently filmed. It just gives you, so here, I swatched them all on my hand. It's going to be really hard for you guys to see, but I swatched the black one, and then I swatched Killer Chocolate next to that one, Killer Espresso next to that one. So that one's almost black. It's like a deep brown, almost black. And then Caramel is at the end. So you can see Caramel has a bit of like a warm undertone to it. It's a little bit lighter. It's kind of like a camel brown. And when you're wearing this in your waterline, I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury today. But they have the same effect where it's like, especially if you have brown eyes and you're wearing it in your waterline, it has a really good like contrast with your dark brown eyes, whereas when you're wearing like Killer Espresso, it's pretty much the same color as your eyes, which isn't a bad thing. But this, you could really tell like, wow, she has a really like different color in her waterline, and it just gives a super pretty effect. I love the way it looks. I think this is gonna be like my go-to waterline color. The reason why I'm wearing Pillow Talk today instead of this is Pillow Talk has like a bit of a raisin, like purple undertone to it, and I thought it looked better with the shirt and the cheeks and the pink and the gloss and all of that stuff. Speaking of Miss Charlotte Tilbury, let's talk a little bit about a eyeshadow quad that came out So I purchased it in January. I think that's when it came out. It is her Flawless Eye Filter in the color, oh, where's the color? Star Aura, or Aura. I'm a huge fan of Charlotte. You guys already know that. I have a ton of her products. I love her quads. They are quite pricey, so buying during the sale is a really good idea. She came out with two just like this, and they're both similar like effects. So they're pretty much full shimmer palettes. Not shimmer, but not metallic. Maybe satin is a good way to explain it. There's no glitter in them. There's no shimmer in them. But there's like a sheen. This one drew me in immediately. It has pinks and champagnes, which are my go-to for all over lid colors. This is what I'm wearing on my lid today. I don't know if you can see. So I'm wearing the darkest color in my outer V, and then I put the more pink one, which is my favorite. You can see I've dug my finger in there quite a bit, all over the lid, and then this more champagne color I kind of like dotted in the center. I love it. These are my go-to colors for eyeshadows. They're easy, they're quick, they're neutral, and this is like the perfect like brush of spring palette. Now, if you're somebody who prefers much more variety and 4 colors is not enough for you, you can get the Tartelette Juicy palette. I always want to call it In Bloom, but that's not. This is the Juicy palette. It's pretty much the same price, but you get like 20 colors. Here's what it looks like. I did a full tutorial on this and a swatch video that I will link down below for you so you guys can check it out. I've been using this palette a ton, whether it's the Charlotte Tilbury or the Tartelette Juicy. It's like one or the other. I've been grabbing this entire month. I just feel like this screams spring to me. The pinks, like the pretty soft colors. It's neutral, but it's not too neutral. Like it's a safe neutral. I've been loving both of these palettes. Last makeup product, and then I have a couple of skincare products to talk to you guys about. So Patrick Ta, you guys probably already know, I really, really like his blushes. I bought this one very recently. It's in the color She's Sincere. She's Seductive is my absolute favorite. It's like a nice mauvey nude, and it's so incredibly pretty. This one is more of like a peachy nude or like a peachy beige even. So it's more of like a natural, it's much lighter and much more subtle than She's Seductive. But it's really nice to wear like here in the springtime when you want just like a little bit of pop on your cheeks, a little bit of peach. You know, it gives me the same effect as Hourglass Dim Infusion by Hourglass. I feel like they give that same effect. So if you're a fan, I mean, yeah, they're very similar. If you're a fan of Dim Infusion by Hourglass, I think you will love this one. Hourglass has the luminosity, whereas the Patrick Ta ones are completely matte, which is good in some instances, but it looks like nothing when you swatch it. But when you put it on your cheeks, it definitely gives a little bit of just like a peachy beige pop of color, and it looks so good with spring makeup. Okay, so talking about spring and outdoors and all of that stuff, it's really important to talk about sunscreen. I have been really into wearing different types of sunscreen, figuring out which ones work best for me. I have a couple favorites. This one, Bioessence sent this to me to review, and at first I was kind of like, I smelt it, and this smell is not good, you guys. But I don't like the smell of sunscreen in general, so pretty much any sunscreen, I'm not gonna like the smell of it. But once I actually got to wearing it, so this is their, let me tell you what it is. It's their Squalene and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen SPF 30. It's very, very liquidy. So it's not as thick as some of your other mineral sunscreens. I was like, you know what? I should try it on like my neck, my décolleté, my arms, and it works amazing for those areas of my body. My hands, it's easy to put on because it's so like thin feeling. So I'll put it on my arms before I go outside with my son, on the top of my hands, because when I'm holding the stroller, that's something to think about. If you're going for walks and you're holding the stroller, the top of your hands are like heavily exposed to the sun. So you want to make sure you have SPF on there, and my neck, and it works great. It blends in well, and the smell doesn't bother me as much like when it's far down like that. And then I'll put another sunscreen on my face. Okay, last thing I want to tell you guys about is by Dermalogica. This is their Biolumin-c serum. So when it comes to vitamin C serums, I'm like, take it or leave it, you know? Sometimes it's in my rotation, sometimes it's not. I struggle with vitamin C because I feel like my skin doesn't love it. It sometimes breaks out from vitamin C, it sometimes burns my skin, and so I have to be careful when I use vitamin C products. This one I've been using for about 2 weeks now during my daytime skincare routine, and I really like it. I do it every other day instead of every day to kind of give my skin a little bit of a break, but the purpose of a vitamin C serum is it's supposed to bring like brightness and luminosity to your skin, and I think that's what it's doing. I've had a lot of comments from you guys on my skin, how great it looks, and I've used pretty much the same products over and over again. This is the only new thing that I've introduced, so this might be what it is. Who knows? It's hard to say. It's not too like runny, and it's also not too thick. It blends into my skin really well, and it has a nice kind of like orangey scent to it too. All right guys, well those are the products that I have been loving in the month of March. Now it is officially springtime. We can enjoy the hopefully spring weather depending on where you live, and let's hop into a new month. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.